Instead of wasting your primo gems onto many characters, here are the recommended characters you need for each element for star and 5 stars. First, let's start with Anemo. The playstyle of Anemo characters are some really good ones, so even I end up losing control and pulling for all of them. But that made me realize that only some of the ones I pulled for were useful. The 5-star Anemo character I recommend is none other than Kazuha. He is one of the best Anemo supports, and his enemy grouping is one of the best along with Vindi, but Kazuha is easier to build and can be put in almost every team. Now for the 4-star Anemo character, it's Sucrose. She's basically a 4-star Kazuha and she's also flexible, which means she can be put in lots of team comps just like Kazuha. She's good if you want Kazuha but you don't have primo gems or if you're a beginner. Now that we're done with Anemo, let's move on to Geo. The best Geo 5-star is the Geo Archon himself, Zhongli. He has the strongest shield in the game and with his burst you can turn enemies to stone. He's good for beginners and people that can't dodge, basically the best for lazy players. For the 4-star character, you might get shocked, but it's Yunjin, although no one uses her unless it's for Yoimiya. She's a fun character to play and she literally stacks off defense which will make it easy for you to build her. She's also a really good support. Now Electro. The best Electro character is none other than the Raiden Shogun, the Electro Archon. She's not only on-field DPS but also off-field DPS, and she's one of the strongest characters in the game once you build her well. Now for the 4-star character, Fischl. She's amazing support and she's good if you're a free-to-play character. She's also pretty strong for a support. Now for Dendro. Of course it's Nahida, the Sumeru Archon. She's a good DPS and her Dendro application is the best in the game. She can be used in many teams like Hyperbloom, Bloom, Burgeon, Spread, and more. And for the 4-star character, it's Yao Yao, a Dendro healer with good Dendro application. Just like Nahida, she can be put in many teams that focus on Dendro. Now moving on to Hydro. Honestly, I can't pick between Yellen, Nuvolette, and Kokomi, but I'll tell you how all of them are good and you can pick one out of the 3. Now if you want a healer, then obviously pick Kokomi. She's one of the best healers and has good Hydro application which makes her one of the most flexible Hydro characters. But if you want on-field DPS that's also a support, then get Yellen. She's good for both single target enemies and grouped enemies. But if you want a strong DPS, then get Nuvolette. He's one of the strongest Hydros and a fan favorite. Now for the 4-star, it's obviously going to be Xinkui. He's one of the strongest Hydro characters even though he's a 4-star and has good Hydro application. Now for the best Pyro 5-star, it's none other than Hu Tao, being one of the strongest DPS in game and a fan favorite since her release. And for the 4-star, I would say Zhongling, but she's a free character that you get from Spiral Abyss, so I'll say Bennett. He's amazing support and he gets used in most of people's showcase making people say he's the best support. And on top of that he's easy to build. Now lastly, Cryo. The best Cryo 5-star is easily Ayaka, one of the strongest DPS in Genshin with. On top of that, has a good Cryo application. And for the support, it's surprisingly Diona, one of the most used support with a shield and good Cryo application. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos. I'll see you next time.